I'm Dr. Treva Job, and I am the simulation manager here at Georgian College. This is one of our mannequins that I'm here with today is Hal. He is our highest fidelity mannequin. We are actually in the brand family 360 interdisciplinary space, which is a new space for us here at Georgian College, and we offer it to many of our different program areas, specifically to do some immersive learning. What we do in this space is it's small group learning, and the area can actually, the walls are interactive and they change depending on the scenarios that you want to run and or specifically the learning outcomes that you want to meet. Within this space, the walls are your canvas, and you can basically, it can be created to any scenario that you specifically want to meet those learning outcomes. So specifically with Hal, one of the scenarios that we use is in the emergency department. And part of that is that the walls we would start in a patient's home. We would actually have him laying on the floor, or he'd be injured, and someone would come in and actually see him, whether it be a PSW, a physiotherapy assistant student, or a nursing student that would come in and do a home visit. Then what happens is that they would have to call 911, and upon calling 911, the paramedic students would arrive, help him and assist him onto the stretcher, transfer him then onto the ambulance stretcher and into the space, which then would change, the walls would actually change into the back of an ambulance. They would complete their work that they normally would do in a call or whatever they would normally do within their learning outcomes for their course, on top of being able to care for a patient, having that communication with other disciplines. And as well, then once they arrive at the hospital, the backdrop would actually change to the emergency department. Once it changes to the emergency department, the paramedic students would hand off to a nursing student, give reports, do whatever they would normally do. Then the nursing students would carry on and complete their assessment of the patient. The walls are interactive in a variety of different ways. It also allows you to, you can play games, or else you can actually do it where the patient's chart would come up on the wall, as well as x-rays can come up on the wall. When we do that, it actually allows the students to have more of that immersive experience. On top of it, we also have the capabilities of applying scents into the space, and those scents could be hospital-based. It could be, if you're in the country or out in the forest, it could be a forest scent. If you're by a fire, it could be a fire scent. Again, it's kind of really adding those different aspects of learning, or the different components, or fidelity is what we call it, so the environmental fidelity, and we increase it by adding those scents into the environment. So it makes it more immersive, and it makes them feel like they're actually there. So we use it for a variety of different reasons. It's very beneficial in a sense of that it increases engagement, specifically of our learners. It allows them a different, very innovative way of learning compared to sitting in a classroom or behind their own computer screen, because of that because of the interactiveness of the walls and the space, and it really allows them to kind of be immersed in what their learning space for the future. So the other thing is what we try to do is we're filming at different organizations, wherever our students might work in the future. When we take that in the film, or when we film it, we actually get them to be immersed in the space before they get out there in the clinical world. And so that also, we're hoping that will increase the engagement of the students to the environments that they're going to be exposed to later on. But if you're utilizing this space for other things, such as anatomy and physiology, it's just a different learning environment for those students. That being said, is that it's not anywhere else in the school right now, so we have the capabilities of working with the faculty members as well to create those scenarios that we can for their specific learning areas. So there's a couple of other schools that are starting to implement this as well, but Georgian College is one of the first in, so we are actually the second in Ontario, I believe, to have this space for our learners. And it's really, it's offering those innovative learning experiences for our students that they may not get anywhere else. And so it really puts us, I feel, on the cutting edge of exposing our students to new learning opportunities and new learning spaces where they may not get at other organizations or other colleges. That being, not the first on the mark, but at the same time is that the hope is that we can use this across our organization as well, not just in one specific program area. It's very easy to show health and wellness, but we're actually utilizing it in other program areas. So that's where we're kind of hoping to meet I don't know, the increasing the availability to other students to be able to see that in other program areas where that's what puts us on the cutting edge of learning, the learning environments or the learning opportunities for our students. And in addition to that, we're the first in Canada to have the 4K projectors within this space, which actually project a much clearer, crisper picture in allowing the students to actually, again, get more engaged or be more immersed in that space. As well as we're the first in Canada to have Hal, the interdisciplinary mannequin, who is very capable of doing multiple things. He can have a stroke, traumatic brain injury. He is much more receptive. He does have some AI in him as well. He can move his arms. He's got some robotics in it. He can shake your hand. He can say hello. He's got pain sensors, so he will actually respond to pain. And then, putting him within this space allows the students to be more immersed within the capabilities of what they're going to see in the real world. So the funding came through our SURF funding, and so primarily the room itself, the renovations came from the college, as well as the external funding that we get on an annual basis. And then the things within the space, so things like HAL and other aspects, beds, stretchers, different pieces of equipment, that is actually donor funded. And so again, we have a lot of really amazing donors in our community that permit our students to actually have innovative learning equipment or having access to that. So again, it's a mix of a multitude of different types of funding, but overall the college has committed to making sure that we can also have this space. So again, a variety of different funding individuals. So this is a pretty exciting space for us here at Georgian College, as it's not only for our students and our staff. We will be able to engage our community partners into coming into the space and utilizing it with their staff and our students, and actually truly getting our students exposed to that interdisciplinary and interprofessional aspects of what this room is truly about.